One moment.
Oh,
it takes a second.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Family Day.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Family Day. It's June. How is it June?
How is it already mid-June?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's the 13th. I just saw that. See, I don't even know that. My kids told me this morning, she said, Mom, the days of the week don't have names anymore. Because I was like, why are you guys up so early? It's Saturday.
Yeah.
No days of the week anymore. They are just days.
I like it. Yeah, I really relate.
And it gives you a different perspective on the week too, because every day can be special.
Yeah, so true.
Right.
Make every day feel like Saturday.
Mondays, I've always liked Mondays, but Mondays no longer have to stink, you know?
Yeah, totally.
All right, okay. So now that we've established that today has no day, it is Saturday, and we are going to do a fun project with sticks and string. It is so basic and so simple. And really the intention for this project was to get you guys outside. We had talked about being able to kind of maybe forage around your yard and find some sticks. And obviously we provided sticks too, because sometimes, I mean, some of you live in apartments. I don't know how many apartment complexes are actually around here, but I do know that sometimes you just don't have access. And I've seen some pretty manicured yards with no sticks. So we put together some really awesome bundles of sticks. No, we're not going to start fires. This is not kindling. We are going to do some really awesome, we're going to paint some of them, and we're going to wrap some with string and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, so this is one aspect. We provided you in your bundle, which if you picked it up, you received a little paper bag with some art supplies in it. And so in that, you will find some string, and yours is probably going to look different than mine. And this is quite a bit of string. It might not seem like much, but if you have extra, we'll talk about that in a second. So we have string, we had some paint brushes, we had a piece of newspaper for your workspace to keep it clean, and I have mine taped down already, so that if you are going to be painting, you won't get your workspace dirty. And once again, we had our little cups of primary colors of tempera paint. And if you have your bundle from Wednesday night, you should have extra. And then we even used the same exact paint for when we painted landscapes too. So, and we had a plastic lid for palette that was in there. And was there anything else? I think that was it. And then obviously a nice little write-up. So yeah, so we're gonna create. It's kind of a found art type of project, and I don't have an example for you. I just kind of thought we would all work together. So what I did this morning was I went out, because the sticks in my bundle were kind of big. I might use one of these for like the top. If you notice the picture, we had kind of like a stick, and then we kind of hung things from the stick, from the large stick. And so I went out and found some smaller sticks. I have some that are a little bit more twiggy. I thought some of these could be kind of pretty to do something with. I don't know. I just kind of grabbed some stuff to have fun with. And another thing I did too was I was thinking about the found art aspect of it. I kind of scavenged around my house a little bit for maybe a few little trinkets I could kind of like wind up in the string. So I had this little glass pendant. Some of the stuff, if you probably have a junk drawer or a junk bowl. I have like probably 20 of those working in my house. I also found this. This is a crystal shard. This is Jen's crystal shard from the Dark Crystal. I found that. I still have him. And even if I do wind it up, he can have it back later if he really needs it to save the world. We might be needing that. And I also had actually some big wooden beads. Like these are kind of macrame beads. I don't know if anybody's done any kind of macrame or knotting. Anyways, I just kind of was going through. These could even be painted with your temper paints. Paintbrushes. That was in there. I don't remember if I said it. And so I provided myself with just some extra balls of yarn to kind of have fun. So I'm trying to work so that I can kind of see you. So I might end up standing a little bit. I can't see you, but so you can see me and see what I'm doing. But I think I'm going to start out with trying to decide, am I going to go more natural? You don't have to paint your sticks, but we thought it was a fun extra. I don't think that the example was painted, and it was totally beautiful. I do have some painted sticks. I forgot I brought these. So these my son Kale painted years ago in an art class that he took. I don't think it was at the Cars. I think it was at the Box Factory. Anyways, these are fun. These were like painted sticks. But so like he was just like maybe 6 years old, maybe 7 when he painted these. I kept them because I think they're beautiful. They're actually 2 of my favorite pieces of artwork that I have in my house. So you could do something like that, like where it's fully painted, like a full painted stick, and he has little rainbows in there. Or you could do maybe just paint portions or paint little stripes. I'm probably just going to paint little stripes because I would like to be able to get some of the project finished in the time that we have to work. This could actually be a really quick project, or you could really take your time with this, like spend the day, like paint some sticks, come back to it later, do some winding. The winding of the yarn can be very therapeutic, and that means it can be very calming and relaxing and contemplative. Oh yes, there were paper towels in there too for you to clean your brushes on, wash your hands, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna start mixing some colors. I am going to start out with the green, I think. I'm gonna make some green. So I'm gonna take just a little bit. If you still have your fundle from the other day, we had some little wooden little depressor, like kind of like a popsicle sticks. Something like that would be good to get some paint out if you don't want to use your brush. But I'm going to add just a little bit. I've got a little bit of yellow on my palette. I'm going to add a little bit of blue until I get it kind of the green that I want. So I'm not sure. I think most of the brushes we gave this time were probably pretty chunky. And those are for painting and filling in space as opposed to detail work. So I like to kind of slowly mix my colors till I get the right shade, rather than glopping a ton of paint all at once. I like to kind of take my time to get the right color. And I like to get little variations. So I'll have a lighter green on one side of my palette and maybe a darker green on the other. I like to paint a little more tonal rather than solids. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with just putting some little stripes on. A lot of you are probably like, wait a minute, am I sensing that you have a dark crystal doll at your house? And I'm just going to tell you, I have a couple. I have a lot of dolls in this house. And they're mine. They're not my kids. Because, you know, I'm a collector like that. It's fun. It's one of my favorite movies. Actually watched the new series when it came out this last winter. It was good. I was really impressed. Thought that was fun. So got a couple stripes on there. I kind of like the way this looks. This kind of reminds me of like This kind of feels like a camp craft. It's something you would do if you were at a sleepaway summer camp. I have a couple little green stripes on there. Hello, you can see that. And I think I'm going to put a couple yellow. So when I change colors with my brush, hopefully you got some water because you saw there was paint, or maybe you're going to be doing this later, but clean your brush off on your paper towel before you stick it in your water. You make your water last longer. Get all that water out. I'm going to mix my other color. Well, this was just yellow. Right in the middle. I am a big fan of stripes. I like to stripe a lot. It's kind of a line work can be kind of calming to me, a little more comforting than just filling in messy space. I like to kind of take my time and do a little bit of detail. We got one little yellow stripe in there. Maybe I want a red stripe. I'm going to put a red stripe in there. So hopefully, tempera paint tends to dry pretty fast. Give it a little bit of a, I can kind of see it drying on the edges. It soaks in. It wants to dry pretty fast. So I'm going to grab a little bit of red, and then I will show you how to start wrapping. Actually, you know what would be really cute too, or nice, or cool, or artistic. I say cute a lot. I apologize for that. Is to paint the sticks that you maybe want to dangle. So you could paint a rainbow. So that way you learn how to mix all of your rainbow colors with your primaries. You know, red and yellow make orange, yellow and blue make green, and blue and red make purple. So just alternate your colors by mixing and doing your primary and your secondary colors. That would be a cool little project. So yeah, so you'd want to go out and forage for maybe some smaller sticks to do that with. Oh yeah, this is pretty. I love red. One of my favorite colors. So, okay. Try not to paint the paint too thick, but tempera is kind of thin, and you can see through it. But I would really like this to dry. That's kind of pretty. So look, just a little bit. You could literally stripe the whole stick. That would actually be a lot of fun, and I might do that later this afternoon because this is actually kind of fun. Now we'll have you'll recognize my house because I'm gonna have all of the like found art stick. I'm gonna hang them from the trees. We'll see. I might go work out in my garden this afternoon. It's really kind of cool out there right now. I don't know if the temperature's supposed to rise later this week, but it's chilly out today. So yeah, so I might actually do a little bit of weeding and then hang my found art in my garden. I think that would be fun. Okay, so, well, this isn't quite dry yet, but I'm just going to set that up so that it dries a little bit. I'm just going to balance that on something here. Look, I'm balancing it on the water. Just going to let that dry. So I'm going to look at my yarn and maybe some sticks. I'm going to take this little bundle. I'm going to do a few different pieces here. I don't like that one very well. Yeah, those 4. So, okay. So one way you can take these different colors, and this, I don't know if anybody's ever done friendship bracelets, like where you have a couple different colors and then you alternate. This kind of works along the same lines. So if I want to stripe 2 colors, I grabbed my lavender and a blue. And if I want to do striping with winding this around without having to make a bunch of knots and starting and stopping. So I'm going to start with both colors. Okay. If you want to, you can take a piece of tape, which I will, but you don't need to. You want to lay both of your strings on your stick, and you're going to choose one. I'm going to start with the blue, and you want to wrap it right over that purple. Oops, and I had my purple going the wrong way. Because then you want to be able to cover both and then pick up the purple. So I'll do 5 wraps of blue, and then I'm going to lay the blue down and hold it tight, all the while grabbing and covering those under colors. And now I'm going to do 5 wraps of purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm going to swap and lay down blue. And I'll show you how this hides your ends. Sometimes it works better when if you're right-handed, if you wrap this direction. 5. But look, I don't have any knots and things are hidden, and I can just keep going. Now I'm going to hold that blue down. And you always want to wrap the same direction. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's one way. And then when you get to the bottom, oops, I have one more purple. There's only 4 there. And 5. Let's swap those again. You always want to make sure that you're picking up. This is really confusing to show you because these cameras don't. But you see how I have that purple one secured by the blue? And I can just keep going. And we'll wrap over. 5. Okay, so now I'm ready to pick up my next color. I'm going to hold that blue down, pick up the purple. So 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's pretty cute. I like the way that is. And now I'm going to just take a pair of scissors. I'm going to cut my yarn. And then I'm just going to take a little knot. And I think my knot's going to kind of be a little feature. So there's my little knot at the end. If you want to, you could take a really fine crochet hook and you can go through and grab those yarns and pull them up underneath if you really want to hide them. But I think I'm going to leave those, and then I might end up putting like little beads or maybe a little tie up a little petals or something that you found outside or something that you found inside. But anyways, that's one way to wrap your stick and to make stripes with 2 different colors. And that's on there. And I didn't even end up using the tape. I was going to tape it down, but really you just secure it right by binding right over. So that's kind of fun. So that I will end up kind of dangling from here. So what could I do with my other stick? Let me think here. I have this really cute white. Oops, I let myself get knotted. So okay. I kind of like this is a textured yarn. These are I think most of the ones, I think all the ones I got are acrylic. I have some wool yarn too. The acrylic yarns would be really good for outdoors because they'll hold their color a little longer. But look at that's a really cute textured. It's got like a little shiny white in it. Oh, yeah. So then I'm thinking maybe with this one, so I have this little piece, this little glass pendant. I think I might take and maybe I'll bead that in somehow. So I'm just going to go ahead and string it on so that it's already attached to my yarn, but I'm not quite ready to use it, but it's just going to hang out down here. So that way, when I'm ready to bring it up into my piece, it's already there and I don't have to cut my yarn and attach it later. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one where I'm going to start by wrapping my yarn right. Ooh, this is a kind of a cool little, oh, I'm going to use that little, I just used that little joint there, right there to make a little X shape. But now I'm going to start wrapping my yarn over my extra tail. And I like to wrap it nice and firm, make it strong and nice and tight. And then if you need to, you can push it up, fill in space, or use that. You can wrap by twirling and just guiding. That's a really nice way to just kind of quickly fill in the space evenly. Or if you're right-handed or left-handed. Okay, so now I'm ready to bring that little pendant, which is already attached. I'm just going to bring that right up. Kind of put it where I want. It's already strung on. Kind of have it strung on backwards, but that's okay. Okay. Sorry. So there we are. See how it's attached? I'm just going to start bringing it there. And I'm just going to wrap again. And it'll stay in place. And you can do that with beads. Like if you want to, if you have those perler pony beads, those little plastic pony beads, you could string like 20 beads on. And as you're winding, every couple wraps, bring a bead up and attach it and just keep winding. Now this, I don't have another yarn to do the knot, but what you can do is you could make your original tail the length of your stick so that when you come down to the bottom, you have a place to knot it. I probably should have done that, but I am going to take and do, this is called a half hitch. So you just take and make a loop, bring it all the way back up. Now you see my yarn is secured underneath. It's hard to see. See how my yarn comes between the two? Because I looped it and brought it back around. So now that's attached. So what then I will do is take my scissors, cut that off, and I'll take this crochet hook and I'm going to run it through and bring the yarn back. That's really hard for me to do for you to see nice and close, but I'll show you. So I have it underneath a couple pieces. I'm gonna hold it. Bring it through, right? So now that's running through. So I'm just going to keep doing that until I get it down. It's a little tricky. Another thing you could do is you could secure it with a spot of glue. That works too. So, okay, so there's one. I'm not going to trim that yet. There's one with my little glass piece just wrapped right in there. So remember, we do this beforehand. Put it on the string and then wind. Bring it up, attach it. Okay, so I've got two different wrapped strings. My strings are pretty, they're pretty cute so far. And this is drying very nicely. See? Probably should have brought my blow dryer out here just so that I could speed things up a little bit. Anyways, that's nice. I like how that green is coming out to be a little mossy. That's really pretty sweet. I have, so this is a pretty yarn that I hand dyed. I just happen to have. That will be, it's self-striping. So I'll show you how that works. So you see how the colors go from red to yellow? That's going to show up when I wrap. That's pretty, I don't know if any of the, I actually hand dyed this yarn with fiber reactive acid dyes because that's something that I used to do. I'm a fiber artist and I used to sell hand dyed yarn. But you can dye wool yarn. This is wool. You can dye it with Kool-Aid. That would be a fun family day. So you can dye it with Kool-Aid and vinegar. So you just have hot water. You put a packet of Kool-Aid in there, no sugar, and a big dollop of vinegar. And then you put it in a glass jar. You take all your white wool yarn, has to be wool, put it in there, and then go leave it out in the sun, just like you're making sun tea. And you leave it out there for a day, and you'll notice all the color kind of clears out of the water, and all of a sudden the yarn is really bright. And that is one way to dye wool yarn. That's a fun one. That's a longer project because the results, it's not instant gratification. That's one that you get to watch over a little bit of time. So once again, starting, actually here, let's do this so we can get that knot in there. So I think I'm going to go about that length. So I'm just going to start winding. And we'll get to watch the color change on its own, one piece of yarn. There we go, now it's red. I could have told you all about the yarn dyeing process while I was doing this. Oh, it's 11:30 already. I thought this was going to be so fast. And we'll have to start thinking about how we're going to attach, because actually this is close to dry. I can at least attach one. So look, I'm about ready to go back to the yellow here. So now the stick will be all of a sudden striped with yellow. You can get self-striping yarns at the craft store. A lot of times they're for making socks because you knit a tube and then you get striped socks. I'm going to go right over this. I probably could have put the crystal shard in here. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. Cut. And then I'm just going to take these two pieces and knot them together. So you don't have to do that half hitch if that's a little tricky for you, where you loop the yarn so that it comes back around. This was just simple knot, and it's attached. So I have a little red and a little yellow. So now I have to decide how I want my pieces to hang. I'm thinking about like that. Okay, so we'll take more yarn. I'm gonna go with, this is another yarn that I dyed that has color variations in it too, see? So we've got like an army green. And this yarn came from the thrift store. This was vintage wool yarn, and sometimes you'll find them. Sometimes you find big bins of yarn at the thrift store, because you know people donate that stuff. This is from like the 70s, and it's 100% wool, and it was all white. So I just took it and dyed it, and it was inexpensive. I think the whole process cost me maybe $7. It was cheap, and I had a ton of yarn. So I am going to, let's see, I think I'm gonna do a little bit of winding up at the top. So I'm gonna wanna wrap around and secure my yarn. Wrap this around. And that is on there. And then I'm gonna do that half hitch. Yeah. So you make the yarn like that. And go around. There. That way I can hang it. Isn't that cool? And I'm gonna cut. Yeah, not quite yet. Yeah, I am gonna cut. I'm just gonna give myself a piece of yarn to work with. I want this to hang about. Ooh, my paint's still wet. Oh, like so. Can you see that? And then with that, I'm actually going to make a knot here. And pull that tight. And then as soon as you start winding it around, it should stay in place. Okay, so this actually matches my top stick. I kind of like that. Now what I could do is take this, wind like so, and I could attach my next, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to make another knot. This time a double knot. It's hard to do with one hand so that you guys can see. I hope it's not too confusing. But really, this is just kind of a fun do it as you go project. Okay, so now that's on there. And it's attached really pretty tight. So there's one. Take my extra string off of there. Like I could actually take and add some beads and stuff on there too. Or you could even take and like wind the skinny yarn with more yarn. Another thing we can think about doing is making a hanging. So we're just going to take a piece of string and tie them on the ends with a loop, and that'll be a nice way to hang your project outside or inside. This is absolutely totally cool to be inside your house too. We love bringing nature inside. I think in the sample too, Emily had put some leaves in. That was really pretty. Something to consider. Or maybe it'd be a good way to dry flowers. Do some dried flowers. So go pick some flowers and hang them upside down. Oh, that would be nice. I think I'm going to do that with one of my sticks, because then they smell good and they'll dry properly. Yeah, so there's that. I'm going to go ahead and add the next stick. And then really, I guess if there's any questions or anything that anybody wants to ask, I'm Emily relays those questions to me since I'm not on Facebook right now, but you can still ask away if anybody wants to know anything. Is anybody planning on doing this today or this weekend, or are they maybe doing it right now? That'd be fun. Yeah. Where's my light stick? Should be hanging about right there. Okay, I'm just going to add the next one. And maybe you guys can hang with me for a few more minutes while I do that. Hitch. Today's project would be good with a little music, huh? A lot more just kind of quiet contemplatedness in this one. No brush strokes to talk about or colors to mix. Is everybody enjoying this weather, the coolness? Because it got hot there for a few days. It was little. My air conditioner was having a hard time keeping up. Okay, I want to try to make sure that as I'm hanging them, they're coming from about the same spot. Yeah, there we go. That's kind of cute. This would actually be really cute beaded too. Like filling up that string with little beads, bright colors, or maybe some earth tones. I like color. I can't help it. I always gravitate towards bright stuff. So this white was kind of funny for me. And then I'm just gonna put this on, I think. Sorry, I keep getting a little too close. Maybe about right here. Kind of on the other side of my little paint. So I'm gonna do that real quick. And then we'll have something finished to look at, and then we can head out. Maybe have a wonderful day today. Has anybody got any plans? I know there's a lot of exciting stuff going on. Okay, wind. Hitch. Doing my string, my stick. Okay. Well, I'm thinking, ooh, I actually kind of like it going down, or do I like it there? I think I'll go there. So my stick's still a little bit wet. So I'm just gonna carefully paint everywhere. The nice thing is that this is very washable tempera. I mean, it's not going to come out of a white t-shirt probably, but it will definitely come off your hands and off your table and all that stuff. And that's why we give you a little protective covering. Okay, let's real quick. Okay, I'll trim those up a little bit later. But look, we have my little trinket wound in, my stripes that I made with two colors, my single piece of yarn that was dyed, and I organized the stripes to lay nicely. And then I had little wall hanging, and then I'm gonna put a string up here real quick so you can see how we do it. And then we'll be done. Okay. I'm gonna use this as a little bit more heavy duty. You don't have to have a heavy duty string. That's not important. I just happen to have this. Acrylic yarn you can't pull apart, but wool yarn you can rip it really easily. So might not be the strongest. I'm gonna take it and double it so that I have 2 strings. And I'm just gonna knot on one end. And you want to make sure that it's coming from the top, from where it's going to hang. Okay, that's on there. And that's it. And I'm just going to bring it over to the other. Hang it like so. I picked a real barky stick, which I love the way it looks, but it is shedding like crazy. So that's easy to clean up too. Just a little nature dirt. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Okay, cool. This would be fun if you had some little bells too, kicking around your house. I know I do. I have jingle bells somewhere. Those are cute. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of fun. Different ways to wrap. So we did a stripe with 2 yarns. We added in a bead with a single yarn. And then on this one, we had our hand-dyed yarn. And oh, look at that. Oh, that just came out. Technical difficulties. It shouldn't have done that. That's only because I was messing with it so much. Anyway, that's pretty cute. I am going to totally hang this outside.
Super cute. I love
today.
the way it turned out.
Yeah, it's cute.
And I wasn't even participating in making the project, but it was very calming to watch.
Was it? Oh, good. Good. I'm glad. That makes me happy to hear. Yeah. I think we could all use some relax, rejuvenate, reset. It's a good weekend for that.
Absolutely.
Go into next week energized and ready to go. There we go.
The beautiful new wall hanging.
With a beautiful new wall hanging to remind you of the time that you took that break to rest and relax. It's cute. I actually really like the little paint part on it, and it's all over my hands too. So maybe let it dry a little bit before you start attaching new stuff. That gives you a lot of time to do as many sticks as you want. Cool. That was fun, you guys. That was fun. I'm glad I waited to do that with you. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay, so that is going to be wrapping up the end of Family Night, Family Day for June. Oh, I have one little thing that I figured out. If you were with me on Wednesday and you made the birds, my wings popped off. Even though I added water, I think there's something in the clay that doesn't bind to itself. So you're going to need to glue those wings back on. I glued them. I just put a little dab of wood glue because that's what I had. Tacky glue, anything like that'll work. Just a little drop, squish them right back in. Because I didn't pre-test the clay. I didn't know that they weren't, that you couldn't just wet and attach. I think you have to use a little bit of glue.
Bummer. Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, I'm gonna do another experiment with it because I really want to know, because I really like to use that with the kids. It's a great clay, and if you do have extra, play around with it. Play around with it and figure out maybe ways to make it work the best, because I'm going to be doing that. So yeah, glue those wings on if they popped off. I did not expect that to happen, but I picked it up. I was like, oh, this is cute. Oh, it's cute. My wings. Okay. So anyway, so there's that. If you were with me earlier this week, there's that. Glue your wings on. I didn't know it was going to come off. Okay. So wrapping up, if you do decide to make a really fun found art nature wall hanging, we'd love for you to share your pictures with us, and you can share them directly with us on the Kreisel Facebook page, or you can tag us on Instagram with the Kreisel. We would love to see your work, and we like you to use the hashtag #ExploreKreisel. And that's the best way for us to see it. And we love to see pictures of you guys working together too. We've seen a couple of those, and that makes me really happy to see. I like seeing families together and working together. That's what I love so much about Family Day. It's a group project, and you guys can all get together and be creative. Hashtag be creative. That's another one. So yeah, we don't have anything else scheduled until next month. I don't have the book with me. Do you know what the next 2 projects are?
I have them right here.
Okay. I try to keep this stuff written down, and then I end up, I lose my notes. I think being in the same place all day long, you wouldn't lose stuff, but you do.
Family Day is art fair inspiration. So although we're not having an art fair this year, we are going to figure out a fun way for us to have a little art fair inspiration. So that'll be a fun conversation that me and Danny are going to be cooking up a project for.
Yes, we will. That'll be good.
Mystery right now. But then family night is collage self-portraits.
Oh, those are fun. Those are good ones. We love collage for group projects. It's a good group project. That's a fun one. So start thinking about maybe if you have any extra scraps around the house that you'd like to add into your artwork. And we will obviously be providing you with supplies in your fundle, because our fundles are fun.
Fundles are fun.
And they're fun to come get too. It's fun to get out of the house. So
in the name.
Yes, in the name. So, okay, so that sounds good. I don't think I have anything else. I enjoyed my project with you guys today. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope you like this format. It works well for us. I'm still getting used to the camera, but I think I kind of figured it out a little bit better today. So, well.
Yeah, and if you didn't like the format too, please send us a message, and we're always open to, we're figuring this out, right, you guys? This is all new territory for us, so just let us know if you prefer Miss Danny right on Facebook.
Yeah, we can do it however works the best for everybody.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Danny.
Thank you.